maybe now I will take you through the mandate of the committee. And the committee was established on 24th September 2024, 24 September 2024, approved a motion for the formation of ad hoc committee for investigation on project implementation for financial year 2022-2023 and 2023-2024. And the mandate of the committee is A, to, with respect to flagship projects, flag and allege non-existent projects as spelled out in implementation committee reports laid on the table of the House on 17 September 2024. 2, 1, investigate whether there was financial impropriety on projects across the county government. 2, establish whether there was a breach of the Constitution or any other applicable law by state or public officers in the execution of projects. 3, investigate whether the laid down procurement processes was followed in the award of tenders. 4, recommend appropriate action to be taken against identified breaches and all responsible parties accountable. B, establish the actual cost of personnel emoluments incurred during financial year 22-23 and 23-24 and circumstances, if any, occasioning violation of Section 107 of the Public Finance Management Act, and whether public funds were irregularly paid for personnel emoluments. C, with respect to the National Agricultural Rural Inclusive Growth Project, investigate the following. 1, whether funds were utilized in a prudent and responsible manner. B, beneficiaries of NARIC projects and their physical location. And C, whether procurement processes were adhered to. D, with respect to hire of county machinery or motor vehicles. 2, as contained in project implementation report committee laid on the table of the House on 17th September 2024. Establish 1, the circumstances leading to the hire of road machinery or motor vehicles. 2, whether the tendering process was adhered to in accordance with the procurement and other applicable laws. 3, the actual work done and location. And 4, the total amount of money paid vis-a-vis the budget allocation per the project. Maybe having said that, I will give you some few minutes to give us your background.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. About myself, I graduated in 2014 from the University of Kisii University. I volunteered in Nandi Hills Sub-County Hospital for a period of 1 year. Then in 2016, I was done a suitability test by the Public Service Board then. Then I was given the first letter of employment. I worked in Nandi Hills for some months. Then I was transferred to the county health headquarters. I served there for around 4 years. Then I was transferred now to the executive to perform the duties of the director HR.
What do you mean suitability test for a better understanding?
Okay, I was called by the board as they went through my documents. I was asked some questions. Then after around 1-2 weeks, I was issued with a letter.
So there was no interviews to that effect?
I was done a suitability test after volunteering for almost that 1 year without pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in brief, can you give us the circumstances surrounding the current crisis in Nandi?
Chair, point of order, Chair. Let me request, Chair, given the gravity of the mess in our county, the human resource, the acting director should give us a background of her academic qualifications. Does she is she a human resource expert capable of advising on matters HR? Perhaps she's just a graduate from the university who decided to volunteer, and then somebody saw, like she says now, that she was suitable to continue. And perhaps I'll ask one other thing. The acting phenomenon in Nandi, she should be able to explain.
Chair,
Yeah,
in conjunction with my colleague,
let me guide the director. Be taking the questions
Okay, Chair.
so that when it will come a time for you to answer, you will answer all the questions. And if you don't have a notebook, I will request the sergeant to over one to you.
I have one, Honorable Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
maybe through the chair, maybe.
No, order, honorable members.
Just to
I
be-
want to give Honorable Bridget.
in conjunction with my colleague, Honorable Mospey, just want to ask the director if she has a certified certificate for human resource.
Okay, that is another question.
Mine was just Honorable Chair. Maybe.
Use the mic, please.
Yes, I'm using my Honorable Chair.
But
Just to ask through you, maybe when she should be switching off the mic so that can listen well. Because her mic is on continuously.
guidance, when you are talking to the mic, you switch it on. When you are done, you switch it off. Thank you. Now you can switch it on. Thank you. Answer.
Okay, on the question asked by the honorable member whether I'm a qualified HR, I'm a qualified HR because I have a degree in HR and I'm almost defending my thesis in master's. And also I'm a member of the Institute of Human Resource Management.
So, do you have the certification to that effect?
Yeah, I have the membership certificate.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the issue that has been raised by Honorable Mosby?
Honorable Chair, I had only two questions, certificate as an HR and qualification.
Honorable Mosby, was that the issue? Or you can come up again?
Yeah, I wanted her to shed light on the fact that, Honorable Chair, this committee has been here now almost the second week, and you hear everyone, almost everyone is acting. Almost everyone. Even the last person we saw here, the last witness we saw here, he is acting, and he's been acting for years on end. Why so? And she's here. She's herself acting.
Honorable Member, Honorable Chair, maybe on that acting, what I can say as an HR is that in the county we didn't have an approved organogram of the structure and also the staff establishment. But now we have one.
Okay, maybe now let us...
Last one, Chair, if you allow, Chair. She can now explain to us the other weird thing about our human resource, the leave of absence.
Maybe before that, Honorable Chairman, she mentions that there was no approved organogram. What is the relationship between the organogram and the question asked and the mess?
Chair, I want
Honorable members, I would like to indulge the director so that we let us give her time to respond to already asked questions, so that we don't have a pool of questions that might go unanswered.
It's just two questions. I wanted to add the third one.
Okay.
To give us and maybe share to this house her job description on her acting capacity, because that will then inform this house on her roles.
Okay, Madam Goretti.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe on the question about the structure, relationship between the structure and the acting positions, the Public Service Board are supposed to advertise jobs based on the staff establishment or the approved organogram of the county. Because actually there we have the variances. Like maybe we have they want 2 directors, and maybe they have 1 existing, though maybe they will advertise for 1, for the other one.
So the question is the relationship between the organogram and the question that you were asked. What was the question? Acting.
Maybe I'm not in a better position to discuss about the issue of acting. It could be better answered by the Public Service Board, who is the employer.
Do you have a letter to that effect?
Yeah, I was given a letter in March 2020, because I started acting then.
You started acting way back in 2020?
Yes.
And you were given the letter by the Public Service Board?
No, I was given by the office of the CS. I was actually deployed to work there.
So who signed your appointment letter for acting?
It was signed by the CS.
After being appointed by the Service Board?
Yes.
Chair.
It's
Chair. My question to the witness: do you have an extension letter for appointment? Because obvious the duration for acting capacity is 6 months. Do you have, how many letters do you have to show that you have been acting? Because since 2020 to date is almost 4 years. How many letters? And do you have it there so that you can submit to the our chairman? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I only have 1 letter of acting that was given in March 2016 to September 2020 to September 2020.
Maybe in your first appointment, that acting letter, was there any duration captured in your letter?
It was indicated only for 6 months.
And I think it has been expired from 2020 to maybe June.
It was to September 2020.
Meaning you are holding an acting capacity illegally, right?
Yes, it's supposed to last for 6 months as per the law.
Thank you.
Honorable
thank you.
Chairman.
There are some questions that has not been responded.
Job description. As per the appointment letter on acting.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My job description, 1 is to make sure that the policies of public service are implemented. Also, to liaise with the chief officer on the staff establishment of the departments. Another duty is to advise the chief officer on HR issues. We have other issues like being the secretary of the County Human Resource Advisory Committee, and also to advise on the issue of training of staff in the county, and others delegated to me by the chief officer.
Maybe a question, Chair. A question, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Tarbi.
Chair, now the witness has said one of the roles is to advise. Is it the CEO or HR? So what advice did you have you given to the CEO in terms of now yourself being in office illegally? Now that your tenure expired, I think 3 years down the line, what advice have you given to the chief officer?
And maybe for clarity, we are talking of the chief officer, but you should now be specific which one, because we have around 10 chief officers in this county government of Nandi. So which chief officer are you referring to?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The Chief Officer Public Service, ICT and Administration.
And now my question, maybe not to look personal, like those whom their tenure in office has expired, you included. What advice did you give to the CEO?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I think I've forwarded my issue to the CEO. We've discussed so many times, and he had promised that when the structure is out, is when we will get the post to be filled substantively.
And Chair, as a professional HR, you've been licensed as a professional HR. What is your take that now you are an expert and on specified period of acting, and you've been doing over years? What is your take as a professional HR? What is your conscience tells you?
What my conscience tells me is that they have been unfair to me.
Don't you think whatever now you are transacting in that office is an illegality? Now that you are not substantive, rather there is no renewal of your actingship. Don't you think whatever you are doing is an illegality?
Honorable Member, I think it's not an illegality because I'm a certified human resource.
But you've not been authorized by the appointing authority 6 months after the expiry of the contract, right? You are not authorized by the authorities who gave you that position. So don't you think whatever you are doing now is an illegality? Now you are the occupant of that office with specific roles, as you said in your job description. And you don't have a letter giving you authority to transact your business. Don't you think whatever you've been doing is an illegality?
I think, honorable members, I wish to give guidance. The witness has agreed that she is in office illegally. So we need to proceed.
Honorable Chairman, there is something that I wish for her to clarify. You talked about a suitability test. Can you tell us what kind of test that is? And how is it done?
Thank you, Honorable Member. A suitability test is usually done on an employee, let's say, who have served maybe as a volunteer, and maybe those who are working closely with her, like the immediate supervisors, maybe recommended that the person does the work diligently. So the Public Service Board can invite and see, or even and see the qualification of that employee, and maybe also based on the recommendation from the immediate supervisor.
Okay, so you are just essentially saying, is that so? When you undertook the suitability test, were you then employed?
Yes, Honorable Member, I was given an employment letter.
On PNP or
on
contract?
On contract.
Take us through a little bit, and then what happened? That was which year?
2016.
Then what happened?
2016, then my contract expired.
You were employed as what at that time?
As a human resource officer.
Based in?
I was deployed to the Department of Health, Nandi Hills Sub-County Hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
Just quickly, take us through what happened after that subsequently.
Then after that now, when my contract expired, I was given another letter in 2019, and I was confirmed on PNP.
Were these employments advertised at any point?
No.
They were not?
They were not advertised, but there was some minutes from the health department.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
There was a recommendation.
That's fine.
Now, Madam Goretti, let me ask you a question. We have here a scenario whereby you've been given the first contract letter, and the second one is on an employment on PNP terms. And currently we have somebody who has been on contract since 2014 to date. What is your take?
And the chair,
Yes.
as she ponders about that, is she among the group whose appointments have been revoked? And if so, Chair, if so, I would give my opinion that we could be unfair to her if we continue talking to her, Chair.
No, Honorable Mosbey, we are not being unfair to her because we are doing some inquiries and investigation. So we want her to give us some information that will guide the committee when we shall be retreating to make our report. So we are not being unfair to her. Maybe the question is, here you are, given the first contract, the second letter is employment on PNP. Here again we have somebody else that has been on contract since 2014. What is your take?
Honorable Chair, what I can say is I cannot comment so much because I worked at the department and they recommended me for the PNP and the minutes are there. So for this staff who have worked from 2014, maybe to only be fair for them also to be confirmed because they've gained enough experience and also their time.
As an HR practitioner, what is the normal practice?
That an officer should not serve in a contract for a very long time. Specifically? Honorable Chair, I don't have the exact time. Like an officer should be recommended at some point to be observed at least.
Honorable Chair, you are in a position to tell us on how long does someone has to work? The exact time, number of months.
That is in the Employment Act and Human Resource Standard Operating Procedure, and she should be well informed on this. The law is very clear on the number of actingship before, or rather transition from casual to permanent.
Honorable Chair.
Okay, honorable members.
To add on that, kindly.
Yes.
Kindly. She had acknowledged that she is there illegally, so I am not even seeing the need of us. But let me ask you, Madam HR, do you acknowledge that we have ghost workers in Nandi County? And in conjunction to that, do you also acknowledge that the engagement of human resources in Nandi County is sometimes illegal?
And maybe the chair, as she answers that, whom do you report to?
Madam Goretti.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. On my first, there was a question about my appointment being revoked. My appointment was not revoked. Then also on the number of months that an officer should serve, maybe I would appreciate if somebody enlightens me on that, because I think right now I cannot remember the exact time, but it has to serve for some time before they are observed to PNP.
Honorable members, please, order please. You are interfering with the submission. Yes, proceed.
About the issue of the coast workers, I'm not sure if we have coast workers in Nandi County.
Now, there is a question that you've been asked. As an HR practitioner, what is the meaning of leave of absence and how is it applied?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. About the leave of absence, when a staff is on permanent and pensionable terms, an officer can take a leave of absence without pay to work in another appointment. Then when he or she finishes, then he comes back to public service.
How is it applied? Does it apply in the same organization or outside the same organization?
It's applied through the Public Service Board.
Applied through the service board?
Yes.
Is it allowable that you can take a leave of service? Maybe, for example, in this county assembly of Nandi, you are taking a leave of service on a lower capacity to take another higher capacity in the same county assembly of Nandi. Is it applicable?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. When somebody gets another better opportunity, because that now will be a fresh appointment, yes, it's allowed.
Organization?
Yes, because it's another appointment, it's another fresh appointment.
Okay. What is the normal practice of employment? Can you give us from the start to the end, the procedure?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Usually for the processes of onboarding staff or hiring staff in the county, it starts from the department, the user department. Let's say for the health department, when they need nurses or the clinical officers, they will sit in their departmental human resource advisory committee. Then when they've given the minutes and a forwarding letter from the chief officer of that department, it's forwarded to the county human resource advisory committee through the office of the CS, where now we hold the crack meeting, and in consultation with the finance department, the issue is forwarded to the public service board. After that, when the board finishes the process, receiving the letters or the request from the candidates who are applying for the job, then they go through the shortlisting and all the other processes. After that, the CEO of the board now is supposed to report to the chief officer, to the county secretary, a list of successful candidates with a forwarding letter. Then from there, it comes to the chief officer public service. From the chief officer public service to my office, then to the payroll.
Chair, allow me to ask one question.
Yes, Honorable Tarbe.
The issue of acting. When you are acting, do you earn your salary or you earn the capacity of the acting position?
Currently, I don't earn any acting allowance.
So you earn your previous?
Yeah, the previous. That's never changed from the time when I was in health department.
Okay.
Chair.
And maybe on the issue, I think she said she's in crack. Can she expound on the
Okay, Chair. Through you, Chair, allow me to pose a question to the witness. Witness, what is the relationship, or what is the relationship between you as an acting HR with the Nandi County Public Service Board? Who advises you in terms of HR, in terms of recruitment, and so forth? What is the relationship? Where do you come in?
Yes, Chair, in conjunction in that, kindly witness, have you employed anybody directly or indirectly, maybe your relatives, your family, friends, and so forth? Do you have your relatives within whom you have assisted in employment?
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members. My relationship with the Public Service Board, the CS is the one who is in direct connection with the Public Service Board and the executive. So where I come in now, when the chief officer receives a list from the CS office for the staff to be onboarded on the payroll.
You are the one to onboard the staff on the payroll?
Yes, those who have come through the right procedure from the CS to the Chief Officer Public Service, then to my desk.
You are the one to forward the names to the payroll?
Yeah,
or you are the one to key the names into the payroll?
No, I'm not keying the names to the payroll. And one thing that should be noted in this, with the honorable members, is that I don't owe any rights to the payroll. It's only the payroll manager.
So you just forward the names to the payroll manager?
Yes.
So how many employees have you forwarded to the payroll on your capacity?
Yeah, from the time when I come in, we have a list of promotions, like that was done last year in April and June, and also this year in March, around 13 clinical officers. And also there was another list last year of around 83 officers, which had the list of the deputy county secretary. There were some HR officers, there were staff from agriculture, and some surveyors.
Maybe, Chair, she has not answered your question. You have asked her, how many employees have you sent to the payroll? How many in total, in numbers? Because it is an ambiguous. The way you have answered is just an ambiguous.
Sorry for that, Honorable Chair. I don't have the numbers, but I can supply because I have the list.
Now, those that were in the payroll without your consent, do we have staff that are in the payroll and not going through your office?
Honorable Chair, after the PSC audit report, I noticed that there were some staff who were in the payroll without my knowledge, who didn't pass through my desk.
And
How many in number?
I can't tell right now because I've not gone through the PSC report. It's still at the office of the CS and CCM, Public Service, and the CO.
Okay.
Through the chair, she has not answered my question. Have you ever employed anyone directly or indirectly as HR?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I can say proudly that I've never brought anybody to the payroll, not even a relative, not even a friend.
Yes, Honorable Tarbain.
The witness told us she's a member of.
Honorable Tarbain, then Honorable Trufosa, and then Honorable Maina.
The witness told us she's a member to HRM. Is she of good standing? And when was the last time she made a subscription to the body?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I've not done for this year, but yesterday I received a message from IHRM that they are doing a waiver. So I was planning maybe to make my payment. But for the other one, I renewed to date.
So when was the last time you updated your records in HR?
I did last year, Honorable Member.
Honorable Trufosa.
Thank you, Chair. The witness said she's not aware of the coastal workers when she was asked by one of the members. And now she told us that she realized that some were in payroll without passing her hands. So those ones who never passed your hands, are they not coastal workers? Lastly, when you saw in social media about the coastal workers, what did you had in your mind, or what did you think about it? Thank you.
Chair, allow me, Chair, to back up the question that my colleague has asked the witness.
Yes.
The witness, she is lying to this Honorable Ad hoc Committee. She categorically said there is no coast worker in the county government of Nandi. At the same time, she is saying we have some list of staff who are boarded to HR office without her consent. Seriously, the witness, you are lying to us. You are lying to. How do you damn those staff who are boarded to the payroll without your consent as the genuine staff, genuine workers? How? How did you realize that those who are boarded to the HR without your consent are the real and genuine workers or staff? Kindly ask our.
Thank you, Honorable Member. About the staff that I mentioned earlier, that it came through my desk because there were adverts on that. And about this as an issue of the coast workers, it was after the PSC report, and I think that report is still in court. And also these issues about the staff who were onboarded to the payroll without my knowledge.
Witness, how do you call those who are onboarded to the payroll without your consent? Are they genuine staff or workers? Are they genuine? Yes or no?
Honorable member, I think maybe after now the
No,
the issue.
no, you should not explain more. Are they genuine or not genuine?
They are not genuine.
Okay, thank you.
Next question, honorable members.
Yeah. Madam Witness, have you ever been a subject of any, interrogation or something to the extent of how you acquired your PNP? Have you ever been asked to explain?
Thank you, honorable member. Yes, I've been asked to explain, but the reason was.
Thank you. What was your explanation?
It was the other board who did the suitability for me. So I don't know about, maybe the records were not there or what, I didn't understand.
Which records?
The records from that board.
But to your, I've seen one of your JD is to implement policy. Is it your evidence in this committee that it's a suitability test is a mode of employment under the Act or in HR?
Yes, honorable member.
Which part of the law are you citing? Could you lead us to show us?
Honorable Chair, I think I need to be, I didn't hear his question well.
The honorable member is asking that is it your evidence that suitability test is part of employment? And you have said yes. Now, he went ahead and asked you which part of the law, if I'm not wrong. You need to quote the part of the law, especially the act that approves suitability test as part of employment.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I don't want to lie. I can't remember the exact part of the law, but it's in the County Government Act of 2012, but the exact section I can't recall right now.
So I will put it to you, witness, that there is no such a provision. And may I also ask you then as a final question, is it true that one of the anomalies, or maybe the main one, for those who are outside now like you, was because their positions had not been advertised?
On that, honorable member, I can't say that I'm not like those who are outside, because a recommendation was made from the department by an authorized chief officer, and also there are minutes that were supporting that.
Witness, I'm just asking you, the people who are outside there, and they are watching you, probably because you are HR director acting, and they see you, you're here, they're out there. Your employments are in the same way. Same way. Maybe we could even say that you are among those people who have been perpetuating the impunity around. Maybe just as a way to explain to us, which job group did you enter at?
Honorable member, I entered at job group K.
And you are in job group what now?
I'm in job group M.
Just one job group only ahead, or is it? Or two?
One.
A director is supposed to be in what job group?
A director is supposed to be job group R, a deputy director job group Q, assistant director job group P.
Do you qualify to act in job group as a director?
No.
Hey, there are many issues.
Next question.
Okay,
maybe I will allow the last final questions.
For purposes of fairness, Chair.
Yes.
Let me ask your colleagues, your colleague workers of Nandi, majority of whom are home now, went through suitability test in a place called Kaimosi. I don't know where yours took place, but they went to Kaimosi and they are now home. And you are not home yourself. And Honorable Chair, on a number of occasions, if I may conclude that the director, the acting director, is among the ghost workers, because she is never in office. That's one thing. Because one time I needed her assistance, not once, severally. She's never in office. Could she be part of the classical examples of ghost workers?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Sorry maybe for the number of times maybe you've come to my office, accidentally maybe I've stepped out, or maybe we are in a meeting. So, because I've been there as the director of, acting director HR, and most of the time I'm in the office.
Okay, honorable members, I wish that we bring the session to an end, so that, yes, Honorable Sum.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Maybe one question to Acting Director HR. Are you aware of the manual payroll?
Yes, Honorable Member.
Do you know the names who are in that payroll?
No, I don't have the I don't know all the names for those who are in manual payroll, because the staff who are on manual payroll are those staff who don't have personal numbers. Those staff who are still on contracts, or the casuals.
Are you able to provide a list of those in that manual payroll?
Yes, I'll ask from the Department of Finance, because it's usually prepared by the payroll manager and forwarded to finance.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe final question, Chair, to the witness. Who is in charge of those statutory deductions from the county government? Maybe those, maybe for NHIF, medical covers, and the rest. Are you directly in charge of it?
Thank you, Honorable Member. For the deduction is usually done by the payroll manager through the payroll.
Okay.
And also for the issue of medical, I come in when we have an active medical cover. I'm the one who usually links the staff to the hospitals. That is my role.
Okay, honorable members, I wish to bring the session to an end. And maybe I will allow Madam to give her final remarks so that we proceed.
Thank you, Chair. I want to thank this Honorable House for giving me this opportunity. And I hope that all this process will aid this beautiful county of Nandi in service delivery to the citizens of Nandi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will also like to thank you on behalf of the committee for the information that you've just given to us. Maybe I will wish you well in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Members.
You've forgotten the witness to submit. She has said you will submit the manual payroll. I think you should put in clear. You should voice it out, Honorable Chair.
Madam Goretti, you are on record that you will submit the manual payroll.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
So you will also do that.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
By tomorrow 10. Is it possible?
Yes.
Okay, do that. Submit the manual payroll to this committee by tomorrow at 10.
Honorable Chair, maybe it should be clear. The manual payroll captures the 2 years of interest. And it is all the months.
Yes.
Without exception.
from 1st July 2022 to 30th September 2024. To date, 30th September, I think that one is okay. So thank you very much. Maybe I will request the sergeant to usher her out.